This is just a fact. The Niners have to sign a guard. It's either Laken Tomlinson or someone else. Laken Tomlinson won't be cheap. There are other options here. I'm not the biggest Laken Tomlinson. Can I just admit that I'm not the biggest Laken Tomlinson fan? I know he has good grades. Everyone likes him. The team he's respected by his peers. Yada yada yada. I don't know. He's okay. I think he's going to be pretty expensive too. You could get a guy like Trai Turner, who's younger and probably just as good. I would go after him. But one of those two, the Niners are going to have to spend a nice chunk of change on a guard unless they suddenly trust Aaron Banks, which I don't think.
We did get confirmation from, I cannot get you the name of the individual, but a very well-respected offensive line guru who was here at the draft and did, in fact, give his opinion today on Aaron Banks in saying that he had a third-round grade on him last year, so he did think the 49ers selected him a little bit early, but that he feels it is far too early to label him with the bust moniker, and that his feeling is still he will project to be a quality level starter. So that gave me some optimism for Banks. But you would think that the 49ers will need to bring in a veteran on one side or the other. I'm still hopeful that they will go as high as $10 million for Laken Tomlinson. I just want to reward someone who's been such a stalwart at left guard there. But if they don't, I like some of those names that you're throwing out there at guard. You could see them attempting to save a little bit of coin there.
Think about Banks. He was a healthy scratch. He was inactive. Like, they didn't trust him to be a backup. They're like, you can't play. You cannot set foot on this freaking football field. So for them to go from like, that's how they felt about him a month ago to handing him a starting job and saying deuces to Laken Tomlinson, I don't think it goes like that. He could be a starter eventually, but they're not going to just hand him that job after telling him he wasn't fit to suit up. So right. I think they're signing a guard. I don't know how much they're going to spend. I'm probably going to re-sign Laken Tomlinson, but that's going to be expensive.
Yes. My priorities would be try to re-sign Laken Tomlinson, but I probably wouldn't go much north of $10 million, and I'm not sure that gets it done. And then if you're unable to do that, you've got to then bring in a free agent guard to fill Laken's spot. And then I would be looking to have a competition between Aaron Banks and one of these guys that projects to be Alex Mack's eventual replacement, but could come in at right guard. And, a couple of these guys are really intriguing along the offensive lines. Some really solid projects. And they look to be the type that would be available in rounds 2 and 3.
I'd like them to sign Trai Turner and let Aaron Banks try to compete again with Daniel Brunskill, because he couldn't even beat Daniel Brunskill in a competition last year. All of a sudden, he's going to compete with Trai Turner or some veteran you're going to sign. Baby steps for Aaron Banks.
Baby steps.
I would say baby steps. So that's a guard they could sign. Curious to see what they do in that market.